Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome to the live series of interview by Muniem Speaks. Today, my guest is Justin Shea, and he is from US. He worked as assistant CEO and director US operation for humanitarian charity specialization in disaster response, youth leadership and volunteer corps, clean water and clean drinking water, solar power, and women empowerment. And nowadays, he's practicing as a lawyer in the United States for a third party, and he's a musician, he's an actor, he's an entrepreneur, and he wants to be a president of US. So I'm going to welcome my friend, Mr. Justin Shea. Welcome, boy. Welcome, friend. How are you?
Thanks, brother. I don't think I'm a boy anymore. I think I'm a man now.
Yeah,
But
you are. You are.
I just got to make one correction. You said I was a lawyer. Now, while in the U.S. we have something called the LSAT. You know the SAT. You take it.
SH.
SATs are here. High school students take them to get into college. Now there's something called the
Oh,
LSAT. LSAT. It's a legal LSAT that you take that to go to law school to become a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. I have not taken the real LSAT. I have taken a mock, a practice, but basically the same questions. A mock LSAT, and I aced it. I got everything right. I just haven't had the money or the time to go to law school. I look white, right? I'm white skinned, but I'm a poor man. I have nothing to my name. And I'm about to build my fortune now. I gave 10 years of my life to Pakistan and humanity, doing humanitarian work. I worked my ass off. And just because I didn't get paid much or anything, people look at me like I'm an asshole. Well, this asshole's here now. You're going to have to do something about him. I want to help
okay,
people.
okay.
And the best thing I can do to help people is become the figurehead, the commander in chief of this country, and get people to get their heads out of their asses. Americans, Pakistanis, and every other human being on the planet. Y'all need to start speaking up.
Okay. Okay, brother, let's start that who is Justin Shea and kindly tell us about your life story from where you are exactly, where you born, where did you get your schools, high school, and then which university did you studied, and then how did you start your official career? Tell us
Okay.
about.
So I am from I was born in Silver Spring, Maryland. That is near Washington, D.C. in the United
Okay,
States. My father, who I've worked with for, most, if not all of my life, but definitely the last 10 plus years. His name is Timothy Todd Shea. He was born in Laurel, Maryland, which is a suburb that's a little bit further out from DC, but still nearby. 45 minutes to an hour from DC. I went to high school at Richard Montgomery High School in Rockville, Maryland, and spent most of my young to adult life in that area. Rockville, Gaithersburg, Germantown. They're all very close to each other, and about 20 to 30 minutes outside of DC. Um, I I studied in college. I specialized my studies in political science, democratic studies, and history. Uh, I but I basically study everything. Like I study war, I study peace, I study people, I study myself, I study others, I study men, women, other genders, other people, other beliefs. I study everything I can. I study religion. I have studied the heck out of all religions. And people think because I'm agnostic. I don't I don't. You can look it up. There's atheists. They don't believe in God, right? Atheists just don't believe. And then there's believers. There's Muslims. There's Christians. There's Jews. There's well, actually, Buddhist is an ideology, but there's Hindus. They believe in multiple gods. Blah 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 blah. So I'm an agnostic. I acknowledge the possibility, but I think in the planet we have, with the knowledge and information that we have access to, we cannot prove or disprove a deity, and it doesn't really matter. The deity maybe has predestination for all of us. Maybe I am destined to be what I am right now. Maybe I will accept God later, but I grew up as a Baptist Christian, Southern Baptist Christian, and I tried to believe. I tried so hard, and I did for a while, but I didn't find anything redeeming about my faith. The faith didn't help me at all. And I was abused constantly by my own people, even my father and other people. And I tried so hard and it didn't happen. I tried so hard, and then I was exposed to Islam through my father's work. My father started a charity. He was a musician, and he also worked with legal matters and business matters for a friend of his named Dan Panitz. That man's organization was destroyed by the Attorney General of the state of New York. His name was Eliot Spitzer. He later became governor of New York, and he was only removed due to a addiction to sex. He had prostitutes. He had a ring of prostitutes, and he was addicted to that, and that's the reason he was removed from office and had to resign in shame, not because of his crimes against humanity. So I'm pissed at everyone and everything because we all have it backwards and we are all doing wrong. We are all messing up, and I have done everything I can to understand and help people and integrate, and they all just shit on me all the time. They all abused me. I didn't get paid. I didn't get respect. I got shit. I got called a CIA agent. By the way, my grandfather is an NSA. That's an like your ISI, your fucking ISI bastards. We got CIA bastards. We got NSA bastards, and my grandfather was one of them, an intelligence analyst. But because of that, my father and I get accused of being CIA all the time. You know what? Come fucking take us out if you really believe that, because I'm fucking pissed off now. I'm not CIA, and I never will be. So, whew, I graduated, went to college at a place called St. Mary's College of Maryland. It's in St. Mary's, Maryland, on the Chesapeake Bay, very near to where the original white pilgrims landed in this country, and then slowly started committing genocide and taking over the country from the natives, who also had their own culture and religion.
Okay.
And I'm part native. Like, you have Elizabeth Warren, who's one of the Democratic candidates here. She's like, oh, I'm a Native American. Whatever. I have Native blood. I have Cherokee tribe blood in me, but I have not made it a point to live on a Native reservation. I have not made it a point, while I respect a lot of Native beliefs and I believe, they have a lot to offer, I have not made it a point to integrate and just be a part of their culture. I'm an American and I accept it. I'm a white American. Too bad. That's me. So I'm the oppressor and I accept it. I'm a white victim oppressor, and I'll do my best to be that. So I graduated college. I told you what studies I specialized in, but I'm always studying. I'm always working. Every single second of my life, I'm working, I'm studying, I'm learning from you, I'm learning from myself, I'm learning from animals, I'm learning from the forces of life and nature. I'm learning from everything I do. And I will keep doing that, and I'll keep applying it as best as I can. Now, I started working after I graduated. I was working with my dad. I've been working with my dad even in high school and college a little bit, promoting his work and traveling with him when I was on break from school and stuff, and just doing whatever I could. We played music, we did charity concerts, we did admin work, we'd go and do volunteer work, we'd do field work, everything, anything and everything, because all I want to do is help people. And now, because people have messed with me too much, I want to help myself a little bit too. But guess what? Even in helping myself, I still want to help all of you. Funny, huh? Anyway, so once I graduated college, was working with him for a little bit, and then I worked for a law firm for a year or two. And that law firm specialized in construction, but they also had a collections department. Now, collections, especially in their case, is when you call up and you harass or you garnish wages of people that owe money because of medical bills or some other reason. And mine were mostly because they had medical bills. They had gotten into a car accident and then they were found at fault, or they just couldn't, they didn't have their paperwork together properly, or all this stuff. And they didn't have money. Most of them didn't really have money to pay. They'd have to pay over a very long time, and then that increases the amount of money you owe. So I got tired of it. I didn't want to do it anymore. I asked the guy for a $2 raise after a year or two. I was getting $16 an hour in the U.S. economy, and that's nothing. And the way he was paying me was as an independent contractor, which means I get taxed even more than if I had another job somewhere else. So he was basically paying me shit. And I asked for a $2 raise. I asked him to pay me $18 after a year or two, and he wouldn't do it. So I said, you know what? You got 2 weeks, and then I'm gone. So I wasn't having any of that. He was abusive. He had his wife working there as the office manager. He kicked her out a few times. They were always fighting. It was a terrible environment. Not going to have it. Not doing it. Not being abused by anybody. You're going to have to put a bullet in my head. So I I quit that, and then I decided to work with my father full time. So I've been working with him ever since. And you know, when it was great, it was great. When it was bad, it was terrible. He
Oh,
has physically, a little bit physically, some, and worse over time. You know, as I got stronger and older, I don't know, maybe he got jealous. He started physically abusing me more. I'm glad he didn't do it when I was a child, and I'm glad I've never been sexually abused, because people who have been sexually abused have been really fucked up, and nobody gives a shit about them. So I was also very, very, very severely emotionally and psychologically abused by him and pretty much everyone else. And because I didn't have money, you know, I was with women a lot. I'm not a virgin. I'm not, you know, some, you know, in the U.S. it's a big thing. If you're a virgin, oh, it's such a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Whatever. So what? Like, and I also don't think it's a bad thing to have sex with people. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you should be careful. And I think if you make a woman pregnant, you're responsible for that child. And if a woman gets pregnant, she's responsible for that child. It's that simple. In my opinion, children are the
okay.
responsibility of society, not cult leaders or parents. So I'm sorry, I'm getting there. I'm trying to keep on track. But so I worked with my father for 10 years. I went to Pakistan several times. I turned 18 in Karachi. My first I went to
Oh,
Azad Kashmir.
really?
Yes, I went to Azad Kashmir when I was just starting to turn 18, 17. You know, I was at the oldest I could be at 17, and I went to Azad Kashmir in Chakar. We had our first hospital that was opened up after the Zalzala 2005, after the big great earthquake Zalzala that killed, you know, 80,000 people across Pakistan, India, you know, these places, Kashmir. So, you know, I volunteered there. I gave speeches at the remote schools, you know, blah, blah, blah. Turned 18 in Karachi. I was there for a week before I flew back. You know, and then I've kept working. Once I got back here, I still worked. I advocated for my father. I wrote speeches. I edited his speeches. I advocated. I contacted donors, kept in contact with them. I requested money. I hate raising money. I hate fundraising, but I love the work we do, and I wanted to be in the field more. But because, you know, Pakistanis, American Pakistanis, Pakistanis, and the other diaspora around the planet weren't donating enough and still aren't, now our organization has collapsed. And now we can't do, we're about to die. You know, my father's organization, as bad as my father has been to me, especially lately, he does great work for Pakistan and great work for humanity, and you have abandoned him, all of you. So I'm done. I don't want to work with CDRS. I don't want to work with your people or anybody anymore until you start putting your money where your mouth is and start helping your own people. That's what you should be doing. So, you know, I have recently quit. About a month ago, I terminated my position as assistant CEO and director of U.S. operations. Before then, I had been doing you know, work on this side, and I had gone to Pakistan one more time. I was in Lahore. We promoted and did a big charity concert with a lot of artists. Sana Marbi, Zain Sahur, there's a lot of some other probably big names. We worked with
You
Atif
were
Aslam.
there? You
We
were
worked
there with Atif Aslam and Sanam Marvi.
not at that concert, but I have met Atif on at least 2 to 3 occasions. Atif Aslam is a piece of shit, and he is a horrible human being that is worshipped because he has a silky smooth voice, you know, and the girls love it. You know, he's a piece of shit, a fucking asshole. We did a lot for him, and we put him in touch with Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses is an American band, and my father put them in touch, and they did 2 songs. And that my father somewhere still has 2 songs that they did together. But because Atif is a piece of shit and was greedy and just wanted money, and we didn't have money and wasn't willing to help the cause, he's like, oh, you know, pay me money to do this concert. You know, whatever, we can't do it, dude. Oh, get Pepsi to sponsor it. All right, well, it's too late because, you know, but, you know, he wasn't willing to work with us. He was being a greedy piece of shit, like him and his family are, like too many Pakistanis, like too many Americans, like too many human beings are. So, you know, we all need to stop being greedy. I don't have a dime to my name, but now I got to make money because you got to survive, right? So, you know, we worked with these
Okay,
musicians and they
Justin.
betrayed us. What's up?
Do you listening me, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to ask you regarding your uh, musician, how you became a musician, and do you have a guitar right now so you can
Yeah.
play a
Yeah.
little song for us?
Yeah. I have.
Because I know you are a musician.
Yeah. I have this acoustic. I have this. This is my one of my electrics, my first electric, which was given to me by a
Oh
good
wow.
family friend. And then I have two Les Pauls. So I'll pull out the acoustic. I might have to tune it up a bit, and I'll play you. I can play you Urdu. I can play you English. Let me know. I can even play Atif Aslam, asshole. I can play his shit. I can play it better than he can.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
All right, I'll do an English song then. But so and if you guys want an Urdu one after that, I'll do that. But
Okay.
so
And
I'll
one thing more. I have a request.
yeah.
My friend has a birthday after 20 minutes. So you need to wish them like happy birthday.
Birthday? Sure. I don't know how to play Happy
Yeah.
Birthday, but I'll do acapella. I'll sing an acapella Happy Birthday. Acapella means without
Okay, okay,
instrument. Acapella means without
okay,
instrument. I'll do that, and then I'll play I'll figure out an English song to play. But I want to answer your
okay.
question. I want to answer your question about how I became a musician. My father was a musician for most of his life, and before he got into advocating for that company that by the way, I mentioned Dan Panitz. That company and that foundation he had, Human Service Centers and Human Service Foundation, they were treating alcoholics, and they had multiple programs: English speaking, Russian speaking, I believe Spanish, and maybe another. But uh, they were treating alcoholics to recover from their addiction to alcohol. There's a lot of alcoholics in this
Oh,
country. Some people are very
that's
good at
good.
hiding how much of alcoholics they are, extremely
That's
good,
good.
but they're alcoholics nonetheless. So the Attorney General Elliot Spitzer destroyed his organization because one doctor in the Russian program was teaching the people how to cheat the system, how they could still be alcoholics but still like act as if and do all the paperwork as if they did it. So the Attorney General caught that one doctor and used that to destroy the whole foundation and the whole business. So instead of just punishing that one doctor and fining the company and the foundation. So that was that. And so my father was a musician before getting into that, and then later humanitarian work, working. When he was doing volunteer jobs before in places like after Hurricane Sandy in New York and Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, and then he went to Sri Lanka after the tsunami there. When the Pakistan earthquake happened, we were sitting in my mother's living room eating a pizza, and he said, I'm going there. And I'm like, he doesn't surprise me. Nothing surprised at that point, especially like nothing surprised me anymore. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, good. And so he contacted the Pakistan embassy, excuse me. And then he went there with a team of Pakistani American heart surgeons and other doctors called Operation Heartbeat. He stayed there for a few months managing their logistics, and everybody asked him to stay to keep managing things. So once he did that, he registered CDRS under the Societies Act of Pakistan, and then later we brought it to the States. By the way, we started another organization, Sustainable Healthcare Initiatives Now Empowering Humanity, Shine Humanity, which was stolen by feudal-minded wealthy Pakistanis in Los Angeles. And they got that organization, and they're not really doing much of anything with it except, hey, it looks good for them, right? It looks good to act like you're doing charity work, especially when you're wealthy and you want to promote your own business. So that happened. But anyway, so my father taught me when I was younger about, he got me like a kid's guitar when I was really young, 5 to 10. And I practiced on it a little bit, but wasn't ever really into it. It was also not that great of a guitar, so it just didn't motivate me. I also got a trumpet. I was just interested in learning that. I learned a little bit of the trumpet, but still wasn't my thing. I didn't really start getting into guitar until I was between 10, 11, 12 years old, somewhere around there. My dad taught me like a couple things. He taught me like a few chords, 2 or 3, 4 chords, the basic chords, and then like, maybe a couple things here and there. But he was also traveling as a musician a lot and then as a humanitarian. So I had to teach myself pretty much everything else after that. So I pretty much taught myself, I've been to elementary school, middle school, high school, college, university, you call it. I've studied everything. I'm very good at law. I'm a very good analytical. I have one of the best analytical minds that I've ever met. So just because I didn't like actually become a lawyer, and also I applied to be a police officer and a sheriff's deputy. I got 95 or more out of 100 points on the written portion of the exam. But and there was a black lady cop that graded my test. She said, "Wow." She said, "Wow," because that was one of the qualifying score was like the minimum qualified was like 60 or 70 or something. And then the highly qualified score was like 70, 80. So I think it was 70. So if I got 95 points, brother, I got the best score out of everybody, made the black lady cop say, "Wow." But then she said, "You know what? Go over here and talk to the white captain." So I went to the white captain with the mustache, and he told me, "It's not a moral issue, but you've used cannabis and you shared cannabis." You know what cannabis is, brother? Charas.
Cannabis.
Charas.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's a
Yeah,
drug.
it's such a bad thing, right? So much worse than alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Nah, dude. It's a natural plant. And by the way, they call me a cannabis addict. I've been clean for a month, more than a month. And it's part of my protest against police, thug, and gang thug brutality and military thug brutality. Any brutality by anybody, really. Because people are fucking brutal with each other. And I'm sick of it. So, anyway, yeah, he was like, it's not a moral issue, but because you've used cannabis and it's the law and you admitted it, you were honest about it. And anybody who uses cannabis shares it. Anybody who drinks alcohol shares it, unless they're a greedy piece of crap. So, just because I used it once and shared it once, even though I've used it multiple times, I've used cannabis a lot. But guess what? I'm a productive cannabis addict. I did all my work exactly how I should have for a long period of time, and I didn't get any compensation for it. Because I'm not a greedy bastard. But hey, now I have to be a greedy bastard because none of y'all pay attention unless you're an arrogant, greedy bastard. So hey, welcome. Nice to meet you. I made a video recently where I pretended to shoot myself because I was considering suicide. I hope I chose the right option. I chose to keep living. Let's see what happens. So I've basically taught myself everything. And by the way, I just got out of the shower. I wanted to make this meeting with you on time. So if you don't mind, I'm going to change real quick, and then you can keep talking. I'll keep answering if you can hear me. And then I'll get the guitar ready, and I'll play a song for y'all. And then let me know if you have any questions.
We have 5 more minutes.
Okay. 5 more minutes for the interview?
Yeah. Only 5 more minutes. You need to play a song, then we will end up our
Hold on, let me get dressed and then get the guitar ready.
Yeah, you can. We are waiting. When you came back, I will add you again on the screen. Right now, I'm moving you out from the screen because you're not here. He was Justin Shea from USA, and he was telling his story regarding Pakistan and regarding his US country, how he got hit, like how he was dealing, uh, why he refused, why he gave our okay. Nowadays is not doing a working. Before he was a CEO, assistant CEO and director of US operation for Humanitarian charity specialization in disaster response and youth leadership and volunteer crops, clean water and clean drinking water, solar power and women empowerment. He has done work a lot in Pakistan. And Justin is back. He's preparing for a song. He's going to ready his equipment. Can I see your guitar?
Yeah. So this is a Martin McCosser. The light.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I just got to set up the camera in a way that I won't have to hold it. I'm gonna figure all this out soon. Like I said, I'm a poor man, so I gotta start buying stuff once I make enough money. I'm working on getting the highest pay and getting a stress job, I can. I have some good offers coming now, though, so let's see what happens. Later, I'm going to invest in cannabis growing operations and my music.
Okay, I'm going to listen to your music.
You guys have a preference for a kind of song? You have a preference for the kind of song or just anything?
Just anything you know you want, you make a better. It should be a good, so every people can enjoy.
Average people can enjoy. Okay, I'll play a pretty. I'll play a mellow song. Oh, come on. I'll play a more mellow song. It's "Time of Your Life" by Green Day.
Okay, we are waiting.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna play "Rise Again" by my "Rise" by my father. Hopefully, I remember it. Written by Todd Shea. It's a little out of tune, but I'm just gonna go with it because we don't have time. So. I don't know where I lost my way home. See it in the distance, but the love is dead gone. Good times are yes, come on. Sorry. Good times are yesterday, I fall in away. And they still alive, they burn in my veins. Yeah. Many times I've climbed up the wrong tree, picked deadly blossoms, should be evergreen, stretching my soul to the edge of my shroud, touching those flowers as I tumble to the ground. But the man upstairs must be watching over me. I prophesized demise, it just wasn't meant to be. You see, it's not the end, my friend, 'cause I will rise again. Rise again. Sound of thunder still rings tonight. When I'm put under, it eases my fears. For some days gone by keeps calling my name. Echoes dissipate, clouds in my brain. Tells me to dig a hole where hope was laid to rest. Shows me a broken dream can raise up from the dead. You see, it's not the end, my friend, 'cause I will rise again. Rise again. We will rise again. We'll rise again.
Justin, now Urdu song, one Urdu song, a little bit.
That was very rough. I'm sorry about that. I haven't played that song in years. But
It's
that
okay.
was
Now,
Rise
now
Again by
one
Pod
more
Shay.
song. One more song for in Urdu.
Urdu? Okay.
A little bit, not too long, just a little bit.
Okay. I'll do. Is Tum Hill by Arjit Singh okay, or do you want an Octave song?
Atif is okay.
Okay. And then I got to do the Happy Birthday too. That's close enough. Oh, I need paper. It's in this case. Hey, brother, for you and anybody else, I need to know if I'm gonna play beforehand. You gotta tell me
No,
so I can prepare.
it's for my friend. He has a birthday on 13th of June. So it's almost 15 minutes. I have to go.
Okay. So tell him happy birthday from me. Um,
Okay.
I'll just play a second of Atif.
Okay.
This is a new capo. I haven't even used it yet.
Oh wow.
Just had to take it out of the box. So I think it's.
What are they?
अचानक कब से उम्मीद कुछ बाकी है मुझे भी तेरी याद आती है अचानक कब से Just let me know when to stop. जिंदगी से कोई शिकवा नहीं Up to see that moon and it's me, I survive. Let's skip the part, but I'll just go to the end. So be like be Very out of practice. Sorry, guys. My voice is rough right now.
Wonderful, boy, wonderful. You have done a great job. And I'm impressed that you can sing a whole song. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Thank you, sir.
That's impressive.
Thanks, buddy.
And our
Hey,
friend
Praveen, salam.
Parveen Patel, Dr. PPP is here.
Dr. PPP.
Yeah, Dr. PPP, he's a Guinness World Record holder and he's from India. He lives in Canada.
All right,
He's a
nice.
very
I love
good,
Canada.
and
Canada's great.
he is
I
known
might
as
move there
the
one day.
celebrity guru. The celebrity guru.
All right.
And he's a very nice, humble man.
And so,
Yesterday we
Praveen,
did an interview. I did an interview with Dr. PPP.
Dr. PPP.
Hashtag Dr. PPP.
What's the other P?
He does that.
Praveen Patel.
Yeah,
What's the other P?
the celebrity guru. Walaikum salam. Okay, guys. Nice to see you. It was such a nice to talk with you. I like and hope so. We will do a session again, and in that session, I would love to do just a music with you, and the music should be a Pakistani and US mix. I will invite one more friend who is from Pakistan. He will play English song. You will play Pakistani song. So we have
Sounds
a
good, man.
competition.
All right. I like that.
We will do a competition. Okay.
We'll do a cooperation.
And yeah, cooperation. Okay.
Cooperation. All right, brother.
Or we can say justice sheet feet XYZ.
Amen. It's Shea, by the way. Everybody says Shea, but it's Shea. Shea.
Share.
Yeah. Shea. Shea.
Share.
Shea.
Share.
Yeah.
Share.
Like SHAY.
Justice share.
Mm-hmm.
Share.
Yes,
Okay.
that's me.
You know, okay. It was such a nice to meet with you, and it was an honor for me that you came into my show. I love your energy. You show us in the form of a song. You play for us. It's such an honor for me. Hope so. We'll meet you again. Bye bye. Take care. Allah
Thank you, Muniem
Hafiz.
Rizvi. Bye. I appreciate you having me. Take care.
Say again, bhai. Say again.
Muniem Rizvi. Bye.
Oh,
That good?
bhai. It's bhai.
Bye.
Like
It's brother.
brother.
Yes, you're my brother.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Bye
of
bye.
you are.
Take care,
Take
bro.
care. Peace.